So when it boot up, I'll switch over there.
Okay. Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. You know what this is? It is now December the 31st. It is now December the 31st. So this is our last Morning Glow for the year. This is our last Morning Glow for 2021. The next time you see us will be 2022. That's a lot of twos, and we're gonna do it double time. Two. Captain Leonard, good morning. How you doing this morning, sir?
How about a guy named Raheem in the Morning Glow family?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is our last one for 2021, brother. This is our last one, man. Tell us what's going on in the political arena. We're gonna talk about 2021, all the ups, downs. We're gonna talk about what our expectations are for 2022. Even if we set some people don't set none. Some people just let it flow like the river. So, Leonard, what's going on in the political world right now, brother? What's going on? What's really going on?
Man, who cares? Who cares? It's happy Kumbh Day.
Yes,
It
sir.
is the sixth principle of Kwanzaa today,
Mm-hmm.
and it means creativity.
That's
And
good.
it's to do always as much as we can in any way we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it.
Exactly. That's good. That's good. Now, let's talk about it, Leonard. What
We'll talk about
2021? This is the last day of 2021. Now, I say it's a blessing that we made it to see this because there's a lot of people that can't say anything. Certainly can't say they made it
right.
to the end of 2021 because a lot of them just didn't make it. We lost a lot of great people
Mhm.
during this year, man. So, what has 2021 meant to you? What has it taught you about yourself or about your surrounding, about the environment? What is 2021? What is it looking back in hindsight? Now it's in that rear view mirror. What is it? What are you seeing?
Well, I'm just glad it's moving along.
Mm-hmm.
I most of my years are the same, I would say, with the exception of those characters that come and go.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you learn a lot to do better and prepare. Hopefully people are preparing for next year.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't look back
Mm-hmm.
because it's done.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's finished.
Mm-hmm.
I did all I could, and there's nothing else I have to contribute to yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, is I would prefer people think about what's great about today
Mm-hmm.
and a hope for tomorrow.
How does one?
We will never
Mm-hmm.
sit around looking back that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Now let me ask you something. And I like how you said that, man. But let me ask you this question: how could one, if person take a real conscious effort toward making today or being a better person today than they was yesterday, what do you think a person have to look into dealing with themselves?
I think really you should find out what is it you would like to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
What's your goal? What you trying to do?
Mm-hmm.
If you figure that out, it should help you get in the the direction. You should be trying to go in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, you have to admit your shortcomings,
That's hard for
and
some
you
people.
have to be sincere
Mm-hmm.
about really wanting to change something.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just not going to just, I'm not one of them cats to just sit back and say whatever is going to happen that way. You can do what you can
Mm-hmm.
to make it better.
Do you
You
think?
know,
Do you think, Leonard, and being totally truthful with the situation and with what we're talking about here? Do you think everybody really want to change or be different or even be better, or are they just content?
no,
Okay, go ahead.
no. It's the same thing with, the kind of thing that we usually say. Do you want to be healed? A lot of people don't.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a great time to look at what has not been working for you, because we have to remember some people are profiting from the exploitation of their own suffering.
Mm-hmm. Mm,
As sick as that may seem,
mm-hmm.
but there are some people who do not want you to go forward.
Yeah.
There are some people who want you to stay in a fearful way. And we can look
Mm-hmm.
at it from this perspective with this coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they have set up an agenda to keep you terrified.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
then you have to look at the other side, that it works to some other people's benefit, that even though you may die, that you keep spending money.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to make it, yeah, it's terrible, but please don't stop spending your money.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
We'll do anything to keep
Mm.
you out here in these streets with a false sense of security.
Mm.
So
Are
I
people that
think that,
are people really that heartless, Leonard?
yes, they always have been. We have a long history of awfulness and awful people, and not so far ago. You can look at the more awful people doing what they were doing last week,
Mm-hmm.
yesterday. They was plotting.
Mm-hmm.
So once you understand that, hopefully it'll help you make different moves. You know
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Navigate a little different. Let me give the phone number.
how you see fit. Remember, I'm not selfish. I don't want you to try to force you to have my religion or my culture or
Mm-hmm.
what have you. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not that type of person. But what I do want is you to have all the opportunities and choices, and to be able to take advantage of those things if you see fit.
Mm-hmm. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. The phone lines are open. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We definitely love to hear from you. We got another call. Monique. Good morning, Monique. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How are you?
Hey, doing amazing, doing much better, sister. Now that you're here with us, doing much better. And I need to ask you, 2021, what did it mean to you? Now this it's in a rear view mirror. This is our last day of 2021. What did it mean to you? What did you learn from it? Or how did you grow as an individual? And what are you going to do to make 2022 better?
Okay. So for me, 2021 was a milestone, with my age. Looking at, the mistakes I made, as well as the different milestones I made
Mm-hmm.
and accomplishments. And so for me, for 2022 is to, do better in the things that that list that I have, on the things that I need to do, to work on those. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what 2022 is looking like for me.
Okay.
And also, I know everybody say this every year, but health wise, because I realize that now that I'm older, I run across a lot of people in my age group, the 50 and over crowd, where they're not taking care of their health, like they should. I meet people, high blood pressure, diabetes, and they okay with, just taking medication for it, and not trying to do better.
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to that, particular type of thing. So I think for me, I'm not going to say, oh, I got a goal to lose. I'm not going to do that this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, it's just going to be, concentrating on doing better. Actually, truly making a lifestyle change, and that's going to be, for the rest of, these next 50 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's just where I'm at right now.
Good deal. And Leonard, she said a lot of times people want to give them resolutions and all this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Leonard, let me say it like this. I promise you. And yeah, the phone lines are open 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We love to hear from each and every one of you. Now, I guarantee you, Leonard, the fitness centers, the gyms, and all that stuff, man, I guarantee you, the next couple of weeks, man, they're gonna make enough money for the whole year. And then and when March get around here, man, you ain't gonna be that crickets. Why in the world do we do this every year, man? We go out there, we join the gym and say we're gonna do this, we're gonna get ourselves in shape, we're gonna do all this, and we're fake promising ourselves, we pump faking ourselves. No, we ain't gonna be out there in the gym, man, every day or every week or something like that, man, working out. Now we done gave money for 3 months, realize we just giving that gym money for nothing. Cause we ain't gonna use it. We ain't gonna use it. Leonard, talk to me. Help me understand it.
Well, I'm looking for people to at least try and set them objectives. Like I said, it don't happen by itself. I do believe it'll happen, though, in due time. So I don't be sitting there, you always trying to throw some shade on thought.
Leonard, but look, it's two sides of the coin, man. And Leonard, you know these people gonna get up here talking about what they gonna do, man. I'm gonna lose.
Well, some people get around to it. They'll get to it. Either or they'll get to it. Like the sister said, that different. One of her things is she looked at where she's come from, 50 years, a milestone.
That's a blessing.
And once you want to try at least to do better, look at how far someone's come. So it is funny because when you go to the gym, that's one of the hardest things. It is time for at least what a lot of people can do. Say if you didn't have many goals, pick health one.
Yeah.
I'm objective. I can tell you some of us who have had health issues, we know the value of changing some things.
Yes, sir.
We know that some things have changed. In 2021, my heart was taken out of my body and put back in. Okay?
Yeah.
So we have to look at things in various perspectives.
That's good.
Hopefully, that's one of the things that I hope, especially African Americans, will do, is look at who isn't looking at health right now. Think about it. We're in a pandemic.
Yes, sir.
Where a lot of these pre-existing conditions have a lot to do with the outcome of some people who contract this virus. So right. I am wishing that I am praying for people to make them changes. If you don't go but 2 weeks, take a break. We can go back. Don't stop doing it. Every time you think about doing it, go do it. Because that's the only way it's going to get done. Either don't just give up.
I'm gonna go run.
Continue to try.
I'm gonna go run.
Going to the gym with eating better.
Well, listen, watch this.
Can I say something?
Absolutely, you can. Absolutely.
And even with the way that we eat, because, it seems like we so stuck, in our ways with the type of food that we eat. Me being single, I always get asked, can I cook? And so I always put a disclaimer out there. Well, yeah, but I'm not cooking, mac and cheese and collard greens. I said now I'm doing some broccoli, a baked potato. and baked fish, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
I need more than that. So I think we have to also, even look at, how we're eating, because I've always been told that that's 80%,
Yeah.
Of it all,
And,
So that's all I want to say.
And it is. But one thing about it now, you can't get here, and I don't think it'll be a good idea for an individual to say something. And then I'm using myself as a man. Look here, I'm ready to go ahead. I'm gonna go out here and jog this morning. I'm gonna go out here and jog this morning. As soon as I get finished eating this big bowl of ice cream, these couple of pieces of slices of cake, and all that stuff. Soon as I get out, I'm gonna drink this soda. I gotta drink this soda too, and I'm gonna go out here and jog. Man, you're defeating the purpose. You're defeating the purpose. Because you're gonna put all that stuff in you, and then you go out there tomorrow gonna jog. Get Cassandra. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, I need to ask you this question. Now, 2021 is now. This is the last day. It's in that rear view mirror. What have you learned from it? What are some of the joys? Some of the maybe some hurt or disappointment that 2021 has caused in your own personal life? And what are you going to do to make 2022 so much better?
Well, I'm not even going to say this so much better. I'm going to try to do what I need to do to survive through 2022, because 2021 it had a few good points, but it had a lot of bad.
Yeah.
And we're going into it with a lot of bad with this virus, this pandemic that people are still playing with. They're still not taking serious. And, I just lost a friend Sunday. Friday was his birthday. Christmas Eve was his birthday. He had contracted the virus. He had mild symptoms. This was Friday. We were congratulating him on seeing 59. And, he said, hey, the symptoms are very mild. I got a little bit of congestion, blah, blah, blah. And Sunday, he calls a friend of his and says, hey, man, I need to go to the hospital. Can you come and take me? And by the time the guy got there, he had died. He was in the house dead.
Wow.
So, I'm numb from all the stupidity, because if you can't wear a damn mask, I don't know what is wrong. What is wrong? I know you don't want the vaccination, but can you think about somebody other than your dang on self? People are being selfish right now. It doesn't make sense. And it's very painful to keep hearing about people dying, people on ventilators. And I have had lots of people. I know some people say, well, I don't have nobody. Well, good. But there are people dying because of this thing. And it's painful.
Exactly.
But I'm going to try to protect myself. That's all I can say. I'm going to do my best to protect myself so I can live to do something.
Yeah.
Because if we keep going on the trend that we're going on right now in this country, ain't nobody gonna be up to do nothing. Talk about don't want stuff shut. Don't shut nothing down. Don't do this. Don't do that. Well, do something to make it not happen.
Yeah, exactly.
And people are not doing that.
Now, Cassandra, how do you feel about our New Year resolutions?
I don't even make them anymore. I think it's a waste of time for most people. I think it's just stupid. Just live your life and do the things that you know or you believe that you should be doing. If you're spiritual, do the things that God has told you to do, and that should be your resolution. As a Christian, or if you're a Christian, as a Christian, I'm going to do the things that I believe God has called me to do. That should be your resolution.
Okay, good deal. Leonard, what do you say to that, brother?
Exactly. It is one, especially as a planner and things like that. You should be setting, objectives to accomplish. A lot of people have various things that they're trying to do. For some, they have designated 2022 to do certain things. Some people already have things on their calendars for 2222. You know, say for instance, we have things we need to do, and those things we should be planning to do. So, creativity. Some people are very creative. Some people are preparing to launch businesses, and that's on their things to do for 2022. Some people are going to publish books. Some people are going to completely turn their finances around in 2022. So, one, I am never a negative person. If you die, you die. You have no control over that. But work on those things that you can change. You should always, regardless, even with what's going on, I could choose to be as miserable as some, as irresponsible as some people, or I can choose to continue to pursue my purpose. Yesterday was Nia. That was what yesterday was about with the Nguza Saba and the celebration of
Purpose.
purpose.
Yes.
So you should have some type of purpose. What do you want to do? That's what you should be looking at. There is so much. There's enough misery for you to go out there right now and jump clean off a building. But don't go there. Don't give in. Don't just throw in the towel like so many people do. Some people should choose to be different. Some people ought to want to come out of them streets. Some people ought to want to stop smoking crack. Some people want to stop these dangerous relationships. It should be on very many people's agenda to look at them relationships. Are you with somebody that would kill your child? Or somebody
Wow.
that'll chase you down the street shooting at you until they kill you? Are you fighting with people in your own house every day? Have you been threatened by somebody you claim to love so much? Maybe you decide no longer start taking them midnight rides you've been taking. Maybe you're not, like I tell people, maybe you decide, I ain't riding dirty no more.
Yep.
What you gonna do better? This is your time to do it. And if you focus on the world, you will fail. I've been stuck on um, John 16:33 as a guide because of what is going on to sum things up. These things have I spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world you'll have a lot of trouble. I mean tribulation. But be of good cheer, because I have overcome the world. That is what I am focused on, is overcoming. I'm not gonna sit with not nan Negro and commiserate. I'd rather sit alone in peace than being miserable and looking for things to despair over, with all the things that have just happened in the last week in my life. I could have chosen to be weak, but I did not. I choose to be strong instead. So it's a choice, and I hope people are thinking that way. If you ain't got but a little time left, at least destined to do something with that time.
Exactly. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We love to hear from you. 2021. Almost over. It's almost out of here. Rearview mirror. What did it mean to you? What did you learn from 2021? How did you improve on yourself, on your community, on your family? What did you do to advance not just you, but everyone around you? Monique, what's on your heart, sis?
You mentioned community. I think that that's something that 2022 that I will probably, focus more on. Because I always did it from a distance, but I think, 2022, I'll probably be, kind of like, feet on the ground type of thing. So I think I'm not going to say it's a resolution, but it's just something that I'm going to strive for 2022.
Okay. Now, Cassandra, I know what you already do already, community wise, and for other people outside of yourself. How can you improve on that? Because you already do so much. How can you improve on that?
I hope that I can get more people to do some of the things that I feel like I don't do enough. People are
Mm-hmm.
always telling me, you do this, you do that. But I always feel like I'm not doing enough. I feel like that's why I post a lot of times the things that I'm doing. I want to encourage other people to take a look at their communities and see what it is that they can do to make it better,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's in politics, whether it's in, social, issues. There can be a whole lot more done if we come together as a community to try to get things changed, to try to get things improved. Our homeless population is crazy here in
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta. What can we do to better that? What can we do for food for people? I have
Mm-hmm.
people calling me every day trying to get rent. What can our government, somebody do so that these people are not being evicted? I'm talking families are being evicted every day,
Mm-hmm.
especially since they lifted this thing, the rental assistance things. People are starting to take people back to court,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and families are losing their homes. It's ridiculous. So, I would just like to see people do what you can. You can't do. No one can. My thing is, no one can do everything, but everyone can do something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Leonard, that's a great point. Nobody could do it all, but everybody could do their part. Everybody could do something to make it better for everybody. Somebody, let me get the phone number one more time before you say that, Leonard. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Phone lines are open. You're more than welcome. Give us a call. Leonard, what's on your heart?
I like it, man. Echo on what Miss Cassandra just said. I don't care who you are, or what you do. Just do something.
Mm-hmm.
Even those of us who do things like Miss Cassandra, to hear her say something like that, man, you ain't doing that much
Mm-hmm.
compared to what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't have to do a whole lot. Just do something.
Do something.
I
Exactly.
guarantee you're not doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
You may, the reason why you may feel like, one of the things that I've heard is, people love to talk about burnout, burnout, burnout. Share it, spread it out. Why are you burnt out?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you burnt out doing something good? It's because you're not doing it the best way that you can. The
Mm-hmm.
best way that you can is that you're able to get things accomplished. And you shouldn't be just burned out, because then you're being obsessive about it.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to think about that as well. If you're operating in a situation where you're burned out, the Bible says, "Weary not in well doing," right?
Yes, that's what it says.
Right.
Absolutely.
So those are things that we try to do, and we try to keep things in perspective. What's great
Mm-hmm.
about the organization that I am with is that we spread it out.
Yes.
We spread it out. We have to share it because we can't do it ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one thing I hope that people understand. Maybe you need some help getting things accomplished. Make that an objective,
Mm-hmm.
to get some help, to do things more efficiently, to free up more of your time to get things in order, because you definitely want to be balanced. We talked a lot in 2021 about mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe mental health is the key to a lot of the issues that you are having. Get you some therapy. Try it if you haven't tried it before. To be open and honest, with a person who is able and trained to help you. If you're not where you need to go get serious mental counseling, maybe they're offering some things with counselors at your church. Maybe you need spiritual counseling.
Mm-hmm.
But get another perspective. Network with people who are, I always say, going the same way that you are.
Mm-hmm.
Headed for the same direction. You can't, if you're the only person in your little circle with hopes and dreams, you got to change the circle.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just be around people. Ain't nothing changed. We ain't getting no better or what? No, man. Well, all right then. I'll see you later. I'm not even going to the party, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I
That's a pity
refuse.
part.
I refuse to. I do it every day here on this radio show. I don't care what people doing or how bad they get or what people's perspective is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the world doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to overcome that. That is my principle, one of my core principles.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
In the world, but not of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just talk about being a Christian. Practice.
Mm-hmm.
Practice, practice, practice.
There's a lot different directions a lot of the alleys I could go down with what you just said, Leonard, because we're gonna try to keep this thing positive
Let it
today.
go. Let it go
Because
then. Make it positive.
my thing is we say that a lot of time. We say be that Christian, be that Christian, be that, but do a lot of people really know what that looks like? I mean,
Yes. You just chosen not to do that. Don't forget how wicked you really are.
mm-hmm,
We're
mm-hmm.
not going. Who perfect? Who ain't doing no wrong at all? Ain't lying. Ain't hurting people's feelings.
Ain't creeping at 11 o'clock at
Ain't
night.
breaking several commandments.
Ain't creeping at 11 o'clock at night. Let's go ahead and say it now.
You've
We're
been
gonna
out. You
talk
know
about it.
you've
Let's
been
talk
out
about
here showing your natural tail.
it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And one why your life is effed up is because you did that. You did that. There's a lot of things people was trying to do their best and things just happened. People just happen to die. People
What
just
is it
happen to
Paul say?
fail.
Every time I try to do good, evil is around me, is among me.
Exactly. So you ain't got time to be worried about the bad. It's
Mm-hmm.
hard to do good. It's
Mm.
hard. It's not easy. Some of you have just chosen to do wrong.
There was a song back in the day, Cassandra, and I got on Badger and Dawn. I want to go to them as well. But there was a song back in the day. I could do bad all by myself. Ain't there had a song go, Cassandra? I could do bad by myself.
Yeah, you can.
Don't need no help doing bad. Don't need no help.
No, no.
Badger, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Another beautiful day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're talking about this is our last broadcast for 2021. This is December the 31st, and 2021 is in the rear view mirror. We pulled it away from it. What did it do to you? What did you learn from it, Badger?
What did I learn from it? That most of the American people need to go to counseling and figure out their brains.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like a lot of people aren't as aware as they think they are of things that are going on, and but to me, that's just the same old every year. I'm just waiting for more people to stand up and do research and find their truth.
That's good. That's good. And see, that's hard for a lot of people because at some point in time, people can't accept. You say learn their truth, they can't accept their truth. They probably even know what it is, but they can't accept it. It's so difficult for them to walk in that truth. Tucson, what do you say to that? Tucson got a fancy backdrop. Look at that. Look at that. Boy, he been fancy this morning. Tucson, what do you say about that? 2021 is in the rear view mirror, brother. Boy, you going in and out. You know, I don't know what you doing over there, man. You Mr. Magic Man or something. I don't know what you doing, brother. You disappearing. But
I don't know what's going on either.
Okay. 2021 is in the rearview mirror, brother. What did you learn from it? What did it teach you?
It ain't done yet.
It's in that rearview mirror.
There's still 1 day left.
You're still driving. You're still driving.
Yes, sir. So you're gonna learn something. It's more things you're gonna learn before this day is out.
No, I ain't learned nothing. Really. See, the only thing I do know is all I have is right now. I ain't gonna go into them. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna try to erase what I got going on here. I tried to get me a background and it looks crazy as all get out.
Look at this.
So
Look. I wasn't gonna say nothing.
I'm just saying. So
It'll come together.
Mhm.
You gotta work with
okay.
that the fade button.
Oh, I want to try to figure out how I can get rid of it.
Fade it in back. Oh, how you get rid of it?
Yeah, I need to
Hit
get
the
rid of. I
hit
need
the
to get
little
rid of that.
X. I think I can't remember. Hit the little X.
It's
I
look. Yeah,
see.
it's look X
The
button at the
box
bottom.
with no picture in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this crazy. This look crazy.
Yeah,
You tried it though. You tried it.
yeah.
It's
You go fading in and
some.
out. It's good.
Yeah.
It's getting better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna work out. But what I'm saying is that I don't know about nobody else, but we make these broken promises that we can't keep. I ain't going on no diet. I ain't going to no gym. I'm not eating right. I'm not doing none of them lies that I might have said years ago that I knew I wasn't able to do. I ain't finna do that. Stop it.
Leave it
Stop
alone.
it. Yeah. Here's what I do want to do. I want to be better. That's it. Than I was yesterday. That's it.
Yes, sir.
The rest of
Now,
it don't even matter. See
and
how I
I
do
asked a
that?
question earlier. I asked a question earlier too, so and I need you to tell me, what does that look like? How does a person identify what is better and what is not? How do they identify that?
We wasn't able to get through what Badgers showed yesterday because there was so much. It got kind of passionate. So but if you can sit down in a room by yourself with any outside influence and do a self-examination, see where you are, see what corrections you can make and move forward, you'll be a better person. Now if you call your cousin and your uncle and Uncle Jim with them outside influences, getting advice from people that don't know nothing, you're gonna be in the same rut that you was not only this year but last year too. With a bunch of confused people that don't know what's going on. Anybody? Let me ask a question, and I'm gonna shut up. Anybody know how we're gonna get out of this pandemic?
No,
Okay.
I have no idea. Cassandra, what's on your heart, sis?
I he asked the question. It has to be a God thing because people aren't paying any attention. I'm really numb right now because it's just and I love being positive. I really do. That's my thing because I feel like if you stay negative, you draw that to you. But right now, I've seen so much craziness this year that I'm just praying that we can get a hold of ourselves. And the Bible says that if my people, I mean, I'm just talking to Christians. If you don't believe in God, I ain't talking to you right now. But the word of God says that if my people that are called by my name would humble themselves and pray, seek my face, turn from their wicked ways, then they would hear from heaven. He would heal the land. So we as Christians, we have an opt out. We got a way that if we start doing that, I believe that God would pay attention to this world and give us some relief and some reprieve. But we don't have that. We have people doing, I mean, just whatever they want to do, however they want to do it, and they expect for God to bless. No, this country is in trouble. This world is in trouble. And all I can say is Christians, we have to pray as never before because something needs to give. But if we're in the last days, like some of us believe that we are, then we understand why all of these things are happening. But some of us gonna be taken up out of here because we're not gonna have to go through a lot of this craziness. I'm just saying, according to the word of God. He's going to pull his people up out of here. That's my belief.
Absolutely. I'm with you. But Monique, let me deal with both sides of the coin here. And what do you say to the people, Monique, that in 2021, unfortunately, a lot of churches actually closed down? What impact did this whole pandemic have on the spiritual life of a lot of people because of the churches being closed?
I think it had a big impact because, I, even noticed, because I went home for a little bit with my family during the pandemic, and they go to church, every Sunday, sometimes during the week. And I noticed that when, they couldn't go, it's almost like they went through, withdrawals or something. Like they was out of sync. Like, okay, what am I going to do? And it got a little bit better, once they were able to do the, to sit in the car and, and the pastor, preached outside. It got better, but I did notice that there was, some kind of disconnect, during that period when the churches wasn't open. And I wanted to also mention something about the mental health, part. I do believe that that we do need to. I have a friend. She calls it mental maintenance. First we have to, establish that mental health, and then, go into mental maintenance. And, and it's a combination of, spirituality, and then it's a combination of actually going to sit down and talk to somebody outside of, the church. And so what we did was we went to a life coach. And, we kind of gauge them, see, what their mindset, whether or not they, believe in God, just how they operate. And I would say this, I went to one for like almost a year. And I noticed a difference when it came to, making decisions about things. It wasn't, made out of haste. It wasn't made out of, being overly, emotional about things. Talking to that life coach, and this is somebody that doesn't know me, can't pass judgment. If they do, it don't matter because they don't know me. And I just noticed a difference. And I always tell my, people around me that they need to look into that. Because, sometimes you can get a lot of things, off your chest, and then have somebody, kind of bring it back to you, and you kind of see, well, I shouldn't even been worried about that anyway. And don't get me wrong, you could go into the spirituality of it, talk to God, but, some people might need a little bit more than that. They might need that human, side of it. So, but that's just what I wanted to say about that.
Good deal. Rico, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Well, I can't complain. Grand rising to everybody. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Congratulations to you as well, man. We're talking about 2021. We're on the last little stretch of 2021. It's in the rearview mirror pretty much. What did it teach you, Rico? What did you learn about it? What did you learn from 2021, good and or bad?
That one thing is that I survived another cycle of this Earth's rotation, according to the calendar. So I survived another one. But in the bigger picture, bigger aspect of all things, I still got unfinished business. Some things I'm in better shape than I was last year. Some things I got to still clean up. Some things going to remain the same. But I'm still here, and I got enough time to straighten it out. Now, what I did see what I did observe in this past year is that, we gonna always have pros and cons, but I think we have somewhat seen, I'm gonna say, unintentional mental revolution. People are waking up. They're actually starting to be more self-aware of consequence. And we talk about a lot of good things, as far as how much better people are doing economically, or sometimes how much worse people are doing. But mainly the behavior of society and humanity. We talk a lot about the state of humanity. And in some cases, it's looking pretty dire. So, and in the process, some of us have identified that we contributed to it and we continue to. That's self-sabotage. So, with that self-awareness, I hope we all take some time out to understand what part we play in some of the consequences of what's going on right now and what's going to happen in the future. Even when we're not here, the behaviors. There's just a little accountability. I used this example day before yesterday. We talk about drug addicts, not realizing pretty much that every person on this planet is an addict. Every person on this planet has a crack. And the reason why I say that is because we contribute to more of the downfall of this society for the future, for the survival of this planet, than anybody has in the history of mankind that we know of. Prime example. We buy gasoline. We complain about clean energy. We complain about the CEOs and the money they make and the pollution that it's making. But at the same time, that gas couldn't be sold if we didn't drive the cars. So I think about how society is so dependent. They're not really dependent, they're comfortable because people don't want to walk anymore. So I'm going to tell you what happened. I've been doing like 10 miles a day up until yesterday. I upped it from 6 miles to 10 miles. And so I ran into an old coworker of mine. And a few times he's seen me walking. He finally stopped me and asked me. He was looking at me like something was wrong. Man, why you be walking like that all the time? Like it was something negative. I was like, because I want to live. Longevity. I said, I'm trying to stay in shape, man. I said, we used to be in a certain amount of shape when we were younger. I said, and as we get older, we get in less shape, and that's really determining our longevity. I said, so I'm making an effort. But I knew in the back of his mind, he was thinking negative. I'm like, how is it that people look at somebody doing something positive and ask them, why are you doing that? Like that's strange. And I can also remember in the past when I was younger, reading the newspaper, looking at the news. Why you look at the news? Why you read the newspaper? I'm like, what? So, it's the thought process that we have to understand that some people really are just existing and they're following the lead of others. And so, I heard the sister say a second ago about getting the therapy, but I think sometimes the therapy is not enough because some of the people that we're going to talk to get therapy from, they are just as big addicts. They're smoking the same cigarettes. They're drinking the same alcohol. They're having the same unprotected sex. And they're also using the same gasoline that is destroying this earth for future generations.
Absolutely.
So, somewhat deep down inside, we have to really understand our impact.
Exactly. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. And I think the name is De Niro. Contact me. We need to talk about that. I definitely appreciate that. I haven't been approached that way before, so that would be good. Toussaint, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart?
Yeah, it takes a wait a minute, let me see something. I did something.
No, you good.
Or am I low?
What happened?
No, I was kind of low.
Okay.
There's so many different people on this face of the earth. And everybody has their own impact they can put into life.
Mm-hmm.
As we all try to share this earth together.
Mm-hmm.
But what makes it unique is we're individuals. And if we can try not to exclude anybody
Mm-hmm.
and let everybody be a teaching moment, we'll be better.
Tucson, let me ask you this, and I love what you're saying, and I agree with you 110%. But how do we get there?
Okay, just like we got different people from different backgrounds, none of us, most of us, some of us, I have never met.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know none of y'all.
Yeah.
But I can learn and take something positive from
Mm-hmm.
whatever background, from whatever belief, from whatever value that you have.
Mm-hmm.
I take that and I implant that, sift it out, and include it in my life, because now you all are part of, evidently, you all are a part of my life.
Yes.
Have been.
Mm-hmm.
Rico, Cassandra, Leonard, Badger, anybody else that has called and we've communicated, this has been our 2021.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
We've covered so many different avenues. We've had some conversations that was spiritual. Some conversation was frustrating. We had fun. We
Mm-hmm.
clown. We joked. We showed ourselves. We showed our tail.
Mm-hmm.
We crossed each other. We threw each other under the bus.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I saw some right hooks recently
Yes, sir.
and
Yes, sir.
some uppercuts. But check
Mm-hmm.
this out. We didn't fall out.
At all.
Ain't that something? So
And
if we can do that on a small uh scale,
mm-hmm.
why can't we do that on a bigger scale?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we exclude people that are really important because they are a learning experience. I'm gonna shut up. Take for instance, there are some people that we do not agree with. You can
Mm-hmm.
learn from them people.
Yeah.
My dad told me this, and I'll shut up for real. You can learn from anybody, but you take the good and the bad and value it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go from there. You'll learn what to do and what not to do and move from.
Exactly. Eat the meat and spit out the bone.
There you
Basically,
go.
eat the meat and spit out the bone. Badger, what's on your heart? Leonard, coming to you next.
I'm just enjoying what's being said, and that's my hope. Like ever since I've been a part of the show for this year, I've been sitting back watching, 2021 telling 2020 to, here, hold my beer kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the virus and how crazy some people have been acting. And I'm just hoping that like people that took the time to listen in on our shows and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
we're able to one of us at least are able um was able to spark a piece of light, you know, to be able to serve as a
Mm-hmm.
vessel to help somebody somehow, some way. There's a lot of times I'm hoping that like with me telling people about the show and stuff, and they're like, "What are you doing on a Christian radio show? That's not normally your thing." And I'm like, "Because the people on the show are Christians and they accept me for me."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're like, "Wait, what? That happens?" Yeah. So it's all about just letting people know that we can get along, no matter
Yeah.
religion, no matter belief. Some people use them differently, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
or race.
Mm-hmm.
I'm half Native, half Irish Scot, and I look white. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have no problem being on the show. I don't know
Exactly.
why anyone else would.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. To God be the glory. Definitely to God be the glory. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
I think that people are like I say, you choose which way you want to go. If you want to be positive, be positive. If you want to be negative, be negative. I have one mode, and it's forward. I ain't got to like nobody, but I'm gonna treat everybody with kindness and respect. That's what I'm going to do.
Exactly.
I don't need to wait to find out what I'm gonna do. I don't surprise me like that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't surprise me. I love that. Go ahead.
Some of y'all looking for an excuse to blame somebody for something today. I like one. I said, I'm just so blessed to never care how the people sleeping together next door. It doesn't even occur to me to care about that.
Ain't my business.
It's just not my business. I've never been one to want to dictate what other people do and how they live and what they say. And I think that some of y'all are just disgusting for that. And I'm not going to be on your side and your team. What would make somebody want to determine how somebody else live? You filthy.
What gives you the right?
Yes. And one, do understand that the most people that I deal with, when we making our moves and doing what we do, we going to keep doing that like we've been doing it. If you got a problem, run up and we going to handle you. We not looking for no excuse. We not looking for no reason to feel bad or whatever. Don't get in the way. We're trying to do the right thing. We're trying to do the best we can. Don't get in the way of that.
Exactly. I heard somebody say something, and it was so simplistic, man, but it made so much sense. I heard somebody saying, I'm going to go to Miracle. We have Miri, and then Rico, you coming up next. They said, if you're not on the edge, you're taking up too much room. You're taking up too much space. I was like, wow.
It's always on the edge, man. That's why we like this. That's why we have to be careful, because we always walking along the edge.
Yeah.
We always pushing it. That's how we know we going as far as we can.
Exactly. I was like, man, when they said, sometimes somebody says something to me, I say, I say that one more time. Say that again, because I got to hear it twice to process it. Because I'm like, man, that was it's so powerful. They say if you're not on the edge, you're taking up too much space. That's powerful to me. Mary, good morning. How you doing this morning? Mary?
Good morning. How are you?
Hey, doing well, doing well. We're talking about 2021. It's in our rear view mirror. It's almost over with the last day of 2021. What did it teach you? What did you learn from 2021? And was it good, bad? Was it ugly? What was it?
It was interesting. I mean, I learned a lot. So I learned a lot. I think the biggest thing I learned was you can give people more than they receive and reciprocate.
Wow.
So.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, man. I'm back on the cycle thing. I know some people look at this differently. When I was younger, it was all about the celebration, and I really couldn't figure out why it was such a big thing. I understood it was important to see another year, but I couldn't understand the celebration part of it, the huge celebration. But now I look at it more for what it's worth, and it's a guideline for me to sort of, dictate my progress on this planet cycle. If I was on Mars, it would be another year would be a little bit longer, I think. I probably would be about 30 years old if I was on Mars, if I am mistaken. I might be wrong. So based on what I'm doing on this earth, on the time that I have on this cycle, I'm able to sort of judge my progress or my regression. Where was I at this point in time last year? And so hopefully what I can do is I can use that to gauge my situation, but at the same time, not get so caught up in the celebration and just think, oh yeah, new year, new me. No, it's the same you. Same me. I got a court case January 6th. This case been going on 14 years. A new year didn't stop it. It didn't solve it. Didn't win it for me. Going through it. I got to continue this progress. So when I get away from the sentimental things of it and really understand what it means to see another year in the progress from this cycle to the next cycle. And I can say I am happy to realize in this mental revolution that I see going on that the court systems have been actually giving us a little justice.
Mm-hmm.
The bad guys have been starting to get their due process.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the bad guys have been starting to be held accountable and not getting off the hook as easy as they had in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're seeing progress in certain areas. And I just, to me, that's what it means personally. For everybody else, I don't know how they look at it. Maybe they just ready to celebrate having a new year and coming in, bringing it in, getting drunk or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I just have to look at it to analyze myself. Once again, self-analyzing my progress before my time is up on this cycle.
Exactly. And there's a lot going on with this thing, man. Kurt, we got Kurt with us. Curtis, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Great morning, bro. What's going on with y'all?
Doing
How
good.
y'all family doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Curtis, this is the. You okay with that, brother?
That ain't me coughing.
Oh, I thought somebody we can check on somebody, man. Somebody we need to check on them. But Curtis, we talking about 2021, brother. It's in the rearview mirror, man. It's almost out of here. What did it teach you, man? And what did you learn from 2021 that you didn't know? And what do you want to take into 2022 to make it better for you?
I hadn't even evaluated that. Well, I learned some things about myself that that's definitely gonna make things better for me in 2022. But the greatest thing that I learned is we've been screaming foul for a long time. And before I used to charge it to just being hate. Like my grandma used to say, just being hateful and indignant and mean spirited. But I learned it's a little deeper than that in 2021. So it's a lot deeper than that, man. And I never thought I would say this, but the American concept, man, this is a sham.
It's warped.
And it hurts me to my heart to say it.
It's warped. Absolutely.
It hurts me to my heart to say it. This whole thing is a sham. And man, I really don't know how to which direction to go. I swear, if I had money like that, bro, I'd move out the country. But then I evaluate that too, and I say, well, what country would you move to? Because the system that's set up with all these scammers, it's a big Ponzi scheme, and it's on every continent, everywhere. Like these people don't care. These people that's passing these laws, and they don't care about people, man. They care about their own bottom dollar, their own bottom numbers, man. This is a scam. I'm sorry, man. I hate to be buzzkill, but this whole thing has turned into it just turned into I don't even have the words for it right here. I don't have the words.
Wow.
It's a scam. We man, people, man, Americans, man, we're so selfish and self-serving and ignorant and indignant and rude and obnoxious and and we think that's okay. We literally think that's okay. I just read an article before my Facebook notification told me y'all was on the air. I was just reading the article, man. They just pull a dude over out of a car traveling from Iowa State with his GPS set on the White House with an AR-15, several ammunitions, a hit list. And here's how ignorant folks is, man, and hateful and mean. When they interrogated him, guess what he said, right?
What's that?
I'm on my way to the White House. I'm going to kill Joe Biden. I'm going to kill Dr. Fauci. I'm going to kill former President Barack Obama. I'm going to kill Mark Zuckerberg. And if y'all let me out of jail, I'm going to get right back on my mission to go to the White House and kill these people. I done found the hole. I done found the weakness and how to get in the building. And I'm like, man, it's people that the
Sickness.
ignorance is just
it's sick. It's a sickness, man. Yeah. Hold on for a minute. Let me pull. Exactly. Hold on 1 second. Let me pull some more people into the conversation, man, because what you just put out there, man, and people really feel that way. People really feel as though it's okay for them to go where they want to go and do what it is that they feel that they want to do. And that's just what it is. Prime example, man, January 6th. January 6th, they felt it was okay. It wasn't an issue with them going to the Capitol building or wherever they went at that time and try and take over and enforce their will on everybody.
Well, I hope we got some of them listeners right now. But this is what I'm gonna say. January 6th and Colin Kaepernick.
Wow.
Me and that.
Cassandra, what's on your heart? Exactly.
My bad.
No, you good. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah, I really feel the way that Kurt just, I feel like this American dream that they have tried to sell people, it was only for certain people. They didn't mean every citizen of the United States. That's just my belief. I'm sorry if anybody believes that there's something different happening here. That's fine. But I think going back to what y'all just said, January 6th was a perfect example of them saying, we have the right to do what we want to do. The same way they talked about a whole bunch of stuff, civil rights, voting rights. We got a right to do because we own this country. This country is not America for everybody. This country is America for the chosen few, whoever the hell that is. I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm serious. It's just for certain people.
Yeah.
And it's sad that we live in a country where we have groups of people that believe that some of us don't have the right to that life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, all that, or none of that. They believe with all their heart that we are not a part of that group. So I'm gonna be like Leonard. I'm gonna keep pushing, doing what I can, because I'm one person. I can just do so much. But I believe that this country as a whole, that say that it's God driven, needs to turn back to God.
Yeah, absolutely. Badger, talk to me.
That's one of the things I've just been sitting there and observing and paying and just watching over time, because I find so much interesting in the sense that when I was talking to my counselor yesterday, we were talking about how some of us that struggle socially are having an even harder time because it seems like freedom of speech has gone out the window. You have to be so cautious of what you say to other people sometimes, because sometimes some of them can take you to court over it, depending on what it is.
Badger, should we be careful as to what we say to each other?
I mean, I don't think we should be doing racial slurs toward one another. But as far as like, I think there are some things that have been taken to the extreme. Like the whole he, they, it, she, them, he, like, I get so overwhelmed trying to figure out that I'm to the point now I'm like, I don't really want to call you anything unless I know your name. Because you don't know anymore. There's so, and to me, there's a lot of confusion in the world right now between what's going on with the COVID virus. You know, governments are releasing info about UFOs that some people are aware of, some people aren't aware of. People are upset with, you know, Christians, some people aren't. There's, it's almost like, oh, well, this mentality is changing. Let's confuse the masses by making them angry at something else. And I'm just sitting there going, are people just wanting to be fighting with one another instead of actually getting along, or what?
In some cases, in some cases, truth of the matter, man, sad as it is, man, I think they do. I really, and is you know, it's laughable, but it's not funny.
It's, well, to me, it's almost like it's such a taught mentality that those of us that have chosen not to live that way, or at least from my perspective, are looking at a lot of this going, when you grow up, I'll have a conversation. Until then, I'm going to be a hermit.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
I it's just it's that way. That's reality. However, I'm so blessed to have been raised a better way. We were so separate. We were so into doing what it is that we wanted to do as opposed to other people's opinions. We've always been that way. I can't even identify with anything less than doing the best that I can. Because I'm too busy working on me to worry about what you're doing.
Come on.
You caught, like, say for instance, you caught me yesterday in one of my prayerful moments, meditation moments, where, because I'm preaching to myself every morning, brother. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure. Come on.
I'm fortifying myself because I'm going to a fight, and I'm ready. Now you can lay there and let somebody poke and stick and kick you, but they're not going to do it to me. And that's just the way I am. And I'm so glad my parents and my village put that in me. I will fight you tooth and nail for what I believe is mine. I refuse to keep my mouth closed because you say so. I have no problem with suffering for righteousness' sake.
Come on.
So I don't even go into a situation, a day or a moment, thinking less of myself. I never expected anybody to be good. I never expected anybody to do the right thing. I never expected the world to give a damn about me.
Hey.
I was from being brought into this world, I was taught that. So, I can only hope that people would understand this concept. The world don't owe you nothing. Whose side are you on? Whose side are you on?
Yeah.
If you don't know, you have a problem. If you thinking the devil gonna never wake up one morning and turn over a new leaf, you a fool.
Don't wait for it.
Ain't nobody never told you was gonna be out here just laying and just chilling and everything was gonna be smooth and everybody was gonna like you. And no, I got a rod in one hand, a staff in the other. I keep a sword and a shield on me at all times. If you want to do it, we can do it. Trust me.
Let me say this right here. I know for one thing, Mike Angelo said, I feel the same way. And I'm still trying to learn this new app that we're on right now. Let me see what's Ebony Prater, and I definitely appreciate it. sent a yellow duck. I don't thank you. I don't know what it means. Somebody need to really explain to me what all that mean. Because I'm not really clear. I just like to broadcast. But yeah, that's amazing. Thank you. Thank you. One of y'all, hopefully one of y'all to come and get me excuse me, and explain what all that mean. Somebody asked me about being a host or something on I don't know what that explain it to me. I don't know what that means. But anyway, Tucson, what's on your heart?
Wait, did you say someone put a duck up there?
Yeah, a yellow duck.
Okay, I'll see.
That's some type of streaming thing.
Yeah,
On
yeah.
that platform that you're using.
Yes.
Ain't that the name of that platform?
It's a big old.
It has something to do with Instagram folks with Instagram accounts and things. I think use that a lot. I can't remember.
yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
Amen. Hey, somebody sent it to me, told me to use
Mm-hmm.
it, and so hopefully we got a lot of people that's on here, man. People support us every day. We here every day, Monday through Friday, from 7 until 10, and a lot of people come and they support us on this, man. But I don't
Yeah,
understand.
live streaming. It's for live
Yeah.
streaming on Instagram or something like that, I believe.
Okay, but I definitely appreciate it. Thank you very much. I definitely appreciate it. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
I said something and I'm gonna repeat it. It said and says if you're screaming foul and you're up to bat, and I'm gonna say it like this: don't you think that you might need to reposition yourself?
Come on, man. Choke up on that thing. Choke up on it.
So here's what else I was thinking as we was talking. I'm gonna put two numbers out there, and I hope I can quote these numbers right. The first number is 81,284,666 versus 74,224,319. That was those that cast votes in the last presidential election. And I thought about influence. And when Curtis mentioned this guy traveling with a mission,
wow,
to do something that if you let him go, which they will, he's not just me, based on past experience of just this year, they'll probably take him to Burger King and then take him back to his house. After they'll give him maybe, probation or something. But my thoughts are the other 74,224,318 people that think just like him. And some of them look like me and you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So don't kid yourself into thinking that everybody's for you while you screaming foul. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Because and I go to say again, and Rico was saying, I don't check nobody. I don't have time to check you. I mind my business and I leave yours alone. But in the midst of go ahead.
Now, Tucson, you said 6 months and 6 months. Explain that 6 months program you got.
I have 6 months to mind my business and 6 months to leave yours alone. Now, how much time do I have other than living on the edge, like y'all was talking about?
Exactly. That's what it is, man.
There it is.
Hey, Mary, what's on your heart? Rico, coming to you next. Mary, you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
Not really much. Thinking about not really on topic, so I just wait and see if it comes up.
Okay. What is it? What's the topic?
Well, I just don't. It's kind of on topic, but trying to find an appropriate way of wording it. Just you can come back to me.
Okay. Rico, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart?
Yeah, I'm sort of interested in hearing what her topic was about.
Yeah, me too.
What she wanted to talk about.
Yeah,
man. It's right back to what I was saying earlier. I was glad that Curtis and Cassandra came in with that because I'm sort of in that direction. You know, we not just America, but the human race period is completely out of order. You know, so when we do these self-examinations to understand what type of influence or impact we have on people, we have to also understand what influence or impacts us, motivates us to be and do what we do, to be who we are. What motivates that man? That man that Curtis talking about, he sound crazy though. I don't think he gonna make it back on nobody's street. If he thought Fauci and Zuckerberg was at the White House, he definitely, his bread ain't done. So his rice ain't boiled all the way. I'm telling you, man, something ain't right with that dude. Though. But at the same time, he under the influence of something. But all of us are, once again, you know, that we have unfinished business. And without being consistent and focused, that business is going to remain to be unfinished.
Yeah.
So now we understand some of these disorders, some of, you know, the chaos that is going on, some of the confusion that's going on. And we understand why. We talk about media. We talk about all these things that we indulge in. But how many of those things are we sacrificing? See, when we talk about leaning on our ancestors and our elders and knowing our history, if we knew our history for real, a lot of stuff we wouldn't participate in.
Yeah.
But we are so addicted to convenience and instant gratification and recognition and money that sometimes we say immoral things make sense because it makes dollars.
Yeah.
So now if we have that mindset, we have to go back and think, well, you know what? What am I participating in that's contributing to the detriment of this society? Because a lot of us that are complaining, we supporting the very system and making it successful. The same system we fighting, we participating in a lot of stuff and consuming a lot of stuff that makes it successful.
They got
so when I say we really need to have a mental revolution, a self-evaluation, you know, some of us are living good and we support things that we think are good and they're not. It's all out of order. Christmas. Listen, we just celebrated Christmas, not we. A lot of people just celebrated Christmas. There is more commercial value in Christmas now than anything spiritual you could think of.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is completely out of order. So that means the meaning behind it, the true meaning behind what Christmas was supposed to be and the rest of these holidays has gone down the drain for profits and commercialization. Everything is about commercial. So we have to sit back and think about those things that are having influences on society. I think we're waking up little by little, but at the same time, this is going to be a rude awakening because some of the things that we love and crave, it's just as bad as crack is.
Yeah.
We love our gasoline. How many people going to park their cars a day and walk for a week just to save the atmosphere?
None.
The environment?
None.
But we know what gasoline is doing. We know about this bad energy. We know about fossil fuels. We know about clean energy. We love clean energy so much. How about we make the oil companies go broke next year? How about we stop their profits? No, we can't do that. We got to get to New York and California a little quicker. We can't live like the Amish. We just cannot do without these vices that's just as bad as crack. So sometimes we need to understand we just as bad off as some of the worst dope things. We just ain't under the influence of chemical drugs. We under the influence of man-made vices, man-made material, superficial things that has us so far out of order that we're contributing to our own demise. And to the negativity. Everything isn't a wash, don't get me wrong. But for us to be consistent and make some of these things that need to be changed work, we got to understand that some things we're going to have to sacrifice. We don't want to, but we will. We might have to start riding horses and carriages again. Or be forced to.
Exactly. Now, let me go to Leonard for a second. I want to ask him about something. Leonard, you there?
Yeah.
What do you know about this situation with the truckers, man? With the truckers stop protesting and not delivering to Colorado? What's behind the story?
You know, I'm not sure. That's where the guy was sentenced to 110 years, I believe.
110, yes.
They changed it to 10. Well, I think it has something to do with the responsibility of truck drivers on the roads. And, you know, there are certain, you know, remember a few years ago, there was this big movement about holding truckers responsible for the lives that they take in doing what they do.
Okay.
And truckers, knowing that they're the backbone of this country, have a union and they stand up for things that are, they're like, why should truckers get more time for causing accidents than regular people? Just because they drive trucks? Are you singling out truck drivers? Those types of issues I remember used to be big, but I haven't really read this particular story to know why he was able to get that reduced the way he was. I'm not sure if there was some foul play there or whatever. I'm just not sure with that particular case. But I did see it where he got his time reduced. So obviously he was involved in some type of heinous wreck or something like that that probably took several lives.
But reduced by 100 years because he had 110 years and they reduced it to 10 years. So that's, man, that's like, Curtis, what do you know about that, brother? You have any knowledge on that? Curtis?
On the trucking industry?
On the trucker that they stopped delivering, they said they stopped delivering to Colorado in protest.
Well, to be honest, the trucking industry as a whole has been kind of protesting Colorado and California for years. I used to be a trainer for truck drivers. I used to that's how I helped put my ex-wife through school. Is driving trucks, right?
New Year's Day.
And Colorado, California, Texas for the most part, Florida for the most part, they make a lot of money off of truckers.
Yeah.
When you're going down the road, you see those weight stations. They're there for a reason. They're there not only to check freight and to make sure that you within the law as far as pounds are concerned. But they're there to make sure that you within the law as far as hours that you allotted to drive and all safety things.
Right.
But a lot of times they've been pulling folks in and they hitting them. And let me tell you, them fines are not, you know how you get pulled over, you get a little $25, $50 fine?
Yeah.
A trucker don't get that. But I think that the cheapest fine I ever seen was $500. Wow. Starting out the gate. Right? And then there's a whole lot of things that go on. Like it's real talk is kind of unfair. However, you got some truckers out here who don't like to follow the rules because all they thinking about is getting the money. So the guy might be running a truck for 24 hours now. They never talked about this guy. What always amazed me with this case is I have not seen them mention one time yet what his logbook looked like. Because the logbook is what should determine if he was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Supposedly he was speeding. Supposedly he was speeding and his brakes failed or something like that. And he killed about 4 or 5 people. But I remember it was a couple of years ago that this happened.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. I got the thing.
Well,
he was.
That's going down.
Hold on, one at a time. Hold on, one at a time.
His
Go
name
ahead,
was
Curtis. Hold on, Curtis. I'm gonna come back to you, Badge. I'll come right back to you. Hold for 1 second. Finish your thought on Curtis.
Okay, everybody got to understand. A truck going down the road at 80,000 pounds. If he is going down the road at 65 miles per hour, and he has to slam on his brakes, it takes at least a football field for him to actually come to a stop. That's 80,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Centrifugal force is going to push him, even though he has initiated the brake. The 117 years is based off of, first off, when a truck driver has an accident, he is automatically assumed guilty already because supposedly he's a professional driver. So your license is looked at different from everybody else's license. So I don't really know the in and outs of the case, but 117 years that was overcharge, and that judge knew better. That judge should have known better. But what he was doing was he was hinging on, oh well, the law says this, so I had to get. No, you didn't. No,
Exactly.
you didn't.
And I'm trying to figure out,
You just didn't have the right last name,
so basically, what I'm hearing you say is that a lot of truckers came together and protest because of the conviction that he got and the amount of time that he got. So
because they've been going through it. It happens. Now some of them are neglect. Some of them do neglectful things, and right. You like the boy that killed Tracy Morgan's friend, right? I think they said that they found like 4 different log books in his truck.
Oh,
so that means that he was running 4 different log books. So he realistically shouldn't have been where he was at anyway, because he should have been somewhere asleep. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
So, but I think that boy out in Colorado, I think he just had the wrong last name.
Wow.
I think he had the wrong last name, and they figure that judge was like, "Oh, we're gonna throw the book at you. We don't want you out here anyway." The trucking industry is a very, very, very racially charged industry. Don't get that twisted.
Exactly.
Hey, before you go too far, I'm gonna jump in at the curves, man, so this don't go too far left.
Okay. Go. As a matter of whole, right there. Go. Let me go. I say I will go to Badger first, and let me go to Badger. And I'll come to you, Rico. Go ahead, Badger.
Okay, so this was back in 2019. His name was Mr. Medeiros, and he was sentenced on December 13th to 110 years in prison for a 2019 fatal crash on Interstate 70 outside of Denver that killed 4 people and injured several others. A sentence, the judge said, chosen if had the discretion, testified that his brakes failed, but he was driving 85 miles an hour when the speed limit was 45, and he drove past a runaway truck ramp before plowing it to stop traffic, according to what the police said. And what's going on right now is there was a petition signed to reduce his sentence from 110 to reduce it to a suggested range of 20 to 30 years, which will be taking place on January 3rd. The hearing will be taking place January 13th of 2022.
Wow. Rico?
Yeah, that's he just pretty much cleared it up, you know what I'm saying? Because I heard it going in the direction of, truckers being targeted and everything like that. Had he been in the car, it would have been the same situation. It wasn't the fact that he was a trucker. It was just the fact that it was an accident, but the way the laws were written, this is why judicial reform is necessary. The way the laws were written, the judge didn't even have any kind of discretion. So, that's why I want to catch that when Curtis said he decided to throw the book at him. Man, the judge was in court, battling, disgusted that he had to give this man this thing.
Wow.
But those were the guidelines that were set, preset guidelines for everybody to fit. One shoe fit all. Can you imagine that? One shoe fit all justice? So what the truckers did, they didn't do it because of the fact that it was the fact that their truckers were being targeted. It was for the fact that he was a fellow truck driver. That's where some solidarity had to come in there. I talked about the Amish and I talked about black people. Man, that's what solidarity looks like. You know what I'm saying? When they know, well, it's a possibility my brakes may give out. I may accidentally kill someone. And you mean to tell me they're going to use this flawed law to throw the book at me too? Now, I'll tell you what we'll do. We will stop contributing to the state of Colorado. Remember what I said earlier about our participation in things?
Yeah.
The trucker said, well, you know what? Even though we're using this gas to burn up the environment, we pollute the environment, we still ain't going to help Colorado's economy. And then you had 3 or 4 million other people sign petitions and say, you know what, man, I don't agree with what's going on. As a matter of fact, I might just not even come and visit Colorado. We might boycott Colorado because this is unnecessary. It's extreme. And so what the governor came in, this is key. The governor had the power Out of all these times we don't seen people not getting pardons and getting executed because the governor wouldn't step in. The governor stepped in, not because, well, this is my opinion, not because the sentence was wrong. Because most times they'll say, well, hey, this is the law. That's the way the law was set, and I got to go by it.
Mm-hmm.
This time he said, we're going to overrule the law. Why? Because we ain't getting on our goods.
Yeah, yeah.
We're not getting into our produce, into the things that we need to make money to function. We ain't getting it. So what we're going to do, we're going to use common sense now. And we're going to be humane now. And even though the driver said he was guilty, he admitted he was guilty. Yeah, I'm guilty. I didn't mean to do it. I didn't try to do it. 110 years? Well, you know what? Now we're going to use a little common sense.
Yeah.
Because we need to make our state stay above water. We need to make sure this economy keeps rolling. And the truck drivers don't put their foot down and say, we ain't going to get none of our Popeye chicken. We ain't going to get none of our supplies to do a lot of the stuff that we love to do. If we don't do something. Governor, you got to do something. All these cities losing money.
Yeah.
We're running out of gas and everything. These truck drivers are not budging. Well, you know what? It went right in the first place. I'll go ahead and give you 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
That goes to show you just how much we can affect the government on this system, period. If we decide to stop participating in some things that we feel like we can't. We can do without some of these things to get some straightened.
Exactly.
You know, I'm on the opposite side of this issue, Raheem.
Okay, talk to me.
The laws are created to shape behavior. When you show neglect,
okay,
when you show neglect, and you endanger other people, you deserve to be punished. Mandatory sentencing is closer to justice than anything.
Why do you say that?
For the very simple fact that you do that time according to the crime, as opposed to what color you are, your realm of influence, who you can get you off, or what have you. You are responsible for taking the lives of 5 individuals, which should carry a maximum of almost 20 years for each life you took. Not only that, this was not what we would call a situation where it was just an accident. You were driving a vehicle. How far over the speed limit? And what type of traffic? And you're a professional. You were breaking the law and just doing that and and causing a hazard for everyone else on the road.
See, and with this part of the conversation right here, we got a little more than 30 minutes that we got before we get out of here today. Everybody could potentially have a different view and a different take on this part of the conversation right here, because there's so much tied into this. And Mary
if a person walked into a church and killed 5 black people, how much time should they get?
Again, that's based. I guess that's based on the who you speaking to.
If you're talking about what actually happened, murder happened. That's what the law is about. The law has already said what you should get for that. So a mandatory sentence takes discretion away from a judge who would discriminate in that type of situation. Based on however he felt or whether he had some type of compassion.
Leonard, you had said one time before, and we got somebody from the 816 area code. I want to go to that person as well because they've been holding on for a minute. But Leonard, you had said something one time before, or a couple of times before, where there should be a system where you don't have any. You type out what it is that they done. Don't put any race or any color and create anything on that. Put it in the computer system and let the computer system tell. Okay. So
because the problem with that, and we fought it each and every day. Excuse me, and we fought it each and every day, and it's because it's how people use the law to create these bias, and they have these biases. I don't care if it shouldn't be a disparity between the time you get for crack and powder. Anyone selling illegal substance such as cocaine, let's say cocaine, should have been given the same time.
But see, but the part that I kind of waver on a little bit, and I want to talk to everybody, pull everybody into this conversation. 816, I'm coming to you next. If it was a mistake, you know, there's so many different elements that go in. Sometimes it's a
It
mistake.
couldn't have been a mistake. You were
And my
driving
thing,
40 miles over the speed limit.
not that part, not that part. That part was wrong. You're speeding. But my thing was, it wasn't an intentional act that he killed these people.
But you were intentionally putting other people at harm by driving over the speed limit. That's why that speed limit is the way it is.
But with that merit 110 years.
Yes, because you took, look how many, it's based on, look how many lives you took. What about that family who lost those people?
I understand that. I understand
their lives were only worth 2 years apiece.
That's not. I see you too, son. I see you, brother. I gotta go to 816. See, Leonard, man, you could go back and forth with this right here, brother. You know that. It'll be 2 more hours, and we'll still be debating on this one right here because I have a slight issue with the peaceful part of that. But let me go to 8. I'm coming to you next, Tucson. 816 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Goddess.
Good morning, Goddess. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty good.
What do you? How do you?
figure I got a good topic here going on. I am from the logistics industry. I'm a freight broker. First grade C.H. Robinson freight quotes. And I do have commercial license.
Okay.
The problem here is that Colorado had too high of mandatory sentences, period. That's why the truckers did what they did. When you first start out driving, they send people up to Colorado and to go through those mountains in the most worst conditions and all that. But the other key factor is that before you get in your truck, you're supposed to do an inspection. And I've seen many a times where you might put down a truck and say, hey, this inspection does not go true, or something's wrong with this inspection or whatever. And your supervisor may override you and say, no, we're not putting that truck down. You need to get in that truck and drive.
Wow.
This is the difference in what I'm saying to him, and I understand what he's saying as well. Not only are they doing that, but they're starting people younger and younger because of the trucking industry right now is hurting, and they need more truck drivers. So they're starting to get more younger folks with less experience driving, period, at 18.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think that what Kirk said was when you're coming down, he might not have been speeding altogether, and it eventually, when you got 80,000 pounds, that it'll automatically push that for it to be a speeding. He might not have started off speeding, but as he started declining and going downhill, it started picking up speed. And whereas his brakes were not working, he panicked. So that's why he missed the off ramp to go up, slow himself down. So once you missed that first ramp in a panic, that was where the problem came in. I don't feel like that he deserves 110 years, period.
Okay.
I don't think nobody deserves 110 years to try to service anyone, although he was at fault.
He was at fault. I mean,
but I understand about the mandatory sentence to keep it on the up and up and all in one. But I think Colorado's mandatory sentences are a little bit extreme.
Okay.
And that's why a lot of truckers choose not to go there. And that was this was just one of the major situations that stemmed to said, hey, we're just not going to go there. And a lot of truckers still go around Colorado, refuse to go through Colorado.
Wow. Good deal. Let me pull some more people into this. Tucson, ourselves coming to you next. I know, Rico, you have some comments on it. I'm going to circle around to everybody, so please be patient with me. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
I remember the conversation. Driver, your wheels are smoking. You might as well let it go.
Mm.
Then the conversation was on the CB. Driver, your wheels on fire. Excuse my language. He responds, "Oh hell, the winner put it out."
Mm.
There's nothing like when your brakes give out. It's nothing like it. I don't ever want to be in that situation again, but I was going downhill.
Wow.
With the speed limit saying something, but you have no control. You see I saw the runway ramp, but guess what? I was trying to save my own life. Now that's a way to save your life, and it's just you because you're a professional driver. Somebody say, but regardless of all of that, I just wanted to say that because I was in that predicament. That could have been me. I don't know how we got here, but we're here.
Yeah.
Because you the only time that we have is that moment to make a decision. And I'm glad we're talking about all of this because this is what all of this is all about. This is what we got right now. We at the end, and I don't want to change the subject, but if you got a person that got a stick shift and you're going downhill or whatever, and you're going down certain mountains, man, you're gonna go faster than you want to go. So Rico mentioned something, I think it was Rico. There's laws set that was good years ago that they're no good no more. And the influence of people makes a difference. When we come together, see, that's what they're doing, coming together for a common cause, we can make some changes. But if we just go along to get along, things remain the same, and you have more than one person like this person here, and I'm gonna shut up, having some unfair treatment seemingly because a decision was made. So
Do
I mean,
you think it was unfair?
if it wasn't for the grace of God, there go I. I'm just saying, man, look. There was one guy went up the ramp and they were saying, "Oh man, I never saw nobody go up that far." Because it's designed to sink the truck. But once you miss that ramp, man, I was like, "Lord, please help me, Lord, please help me."
Okay, hold that thought right there, brother.
Y'all
Hold
go
that thought
ahead,
right
man. Y'all go ahead.
Rico, you had some thoughts on this as well, brother. What's on your heart?
Yeah, that's all. Dog pretty much hit it in the head, and Curtis was on it, and it got ignored. And see, that's why it's so good to, number one, be informed and somewhat try to have some experience about some things that we have opinions on. Because I've been in the same situation Donald was in, missing that runaway road, going on. Listen, not going downhill, but going on flat land, and all of a sudden, some cars in front of you start braking on the interstate, and you got to stop. Your brakes gone. I did it moving over in Georgia, over in Atlanta. Brakes went out on a budget moving truck. And you don't, I mean, when you miss that ramp, you don't have to be going up on flat line or going downhill. You can just, like I said, you just be going straight. The only thing that's going to stop your momentum is going uphill. But if you're going in the flat line and the momentum is going, and then all of a sudden your brakes give out, that load is going to push you. That load is more than that truck. It's going to push you, and it's going to be hard for you to break it down in the stick shift. So, I mean, when you look at that law, even and what God has said is true too. Sometimes the supervisor tell you to get in that truck anyway. So now that leaves you with a negligent homicide charge.
Now let me ask you this question, Rico. Let me throw this in. If that be the case, and I know it does happen, I mean, That's what they do sometimes. Should both of them be held responsible, or should just the driver be held responsible? Because the owner knew as well.
Well, it depends. You know, sometimes the driver can. I mean, look, we live in a society right now where people didn't evacuate because they was afraid to lose the job. The boss man told them, if you leave this Amazon plant to save your life, you're gonna be fired. Oh, baby, I got to stay home. They did now because the job. Oh man, this is sort of going back to what I was saying earlier about this mental revolution. Man, we got to wake up, man. These people stayed at their job. So many people put their job for their life, because they depend on their job for their livelihood. We are so dependent on government and on just this system to survive that we can't get away from it. We got to participate in it to a certain extent. If we want to get to work on time, we got to use cars for gas. But this is another example, like I said, of the reason why that definitely has to be judicial reform. Because if you have never been in a truck carrying 50, 60,000 pounds of weight behind you, and them brakes gave out on you, or that trailer started leaning, and you start feeling your cab about to turn over because your cab ain't gonna keep that load down. That load, your truck going with that load goes.
Of course.
So wherever your load take you is where you're going. Now, to say that this man deserved that 110 years when the judge didn't even want to give it to him, you got to think about it. You got to hold that. You got to hold that in account. If the judge himself is finished and said, I don't want to do this, this is extreme, this is too much, but the way the guidelines are said, I have no choice but to sentence you, even though it's wrong.
Exactly.
You got to hold that in account. This is a judge. We ain't even judged. And we say, I agree. No, you can't agree with that unless you drove a truck before and you know what it felt like to have that 50,000 pound behind you. If you could jump out and stop that load by yourself, then maybe he should go to jail. But it ain't no way you stopping that load when your brakes go out. That was a complete accident.
That's gravity.
Raheem,
that's gravity.
I would also like to add what no one else has mentioned, which I alluded to before. All of this is all one-sided. Me, I. What about the lives you took and the damage you caused?
Both and I see it all the time, man. I like to deal with both sides of the coin. Cassandra, what do you say to that? What about this whole issue, this whole situation? Because yes, there was lives lost. There were really lives lost.
You don't change the law every time something happens. You change it because you don't like it.
Let's go to Cassandra. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not well versed on the laws when it comes to traffic accidents and stuff. But my bottom line is what you just said. Lives were lost. It was his responsibility to be responsible. And I don't know all the details, but obviously something in what he did not sit with the law because of the kind of time he gave him. I'm glad that they reduced it. You understand what I'm saying? 100 and something years. We know he ain't gonna live that long, but maybe he'll learn something from this. But he needs to do at least 20 years. I mean, you have people that will never see their family members again, ever. At least his family members can go and see him. So, I'm sorry that it happened like that, but lives were taken.
And damage was done. And this is the issue that we have with justice, is that people think it should change based on how they feel. That's not justice.
And see, and that's the reason why I say on this particular topic, right? It's going to be very difficult, almost impossible to get everybody to agree on this, because everybody has a different mindset of how they look at it and how they view situations like this. Monique, what's on your heart, sis? Talk to me.
This is very interesting because right now I'm in the process of studying for my CDL learner's permit. I was, listening, to the, professionals, so I don't have anything to say, but I'm glad was listening to this because I am in a 2-week course for the CLP. So this was interesting.
Good deal.
That's all I have to say.
Good deal. Goddess, what's on your heart? And Curtis, coming to you next. Goddess, you there? She's over there fighting it.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. I just couldn't find the mute button.
Okay. What's on
what's on my heart is I just, again, being a professional driver, it's a hard decision, a situation that happened. All the people that did lose their lives, that was a tragic event, collateral damage. I don't know what else to say. And my heart goes out to every last family member that did lose their lives, and they're not going to be seen again. But accidents do happen. Situations do happen. So I'm not saying this guy is guilty. He's saying that he's guilty. He feels, he's being punished for his time. I just think that some of those laws need to be relooked at and changed to a certain extent. There's things that he could have, what people are not getting, that, yeah, there's a runaway ramp, but was there 4 other cars in the way that if he would have gotten over, would have killed them too? So there's so many different parameters that you can look at that he tried his best. We're not in that situation to really pass a judgment on there. On how other ways that he could have handled the situation. But the fact of the matter is that the situation did happen. It was not where he was trying to go kill people. And that's the difference. It wasn't that he was trying, and I'm trying to look at it as a point where one of my family members, yeah, I would be crushed, I would be lost that a family member of mine died, but there's a part of it that if it was an accident, there was nothing else that could have been done, then yeah, there's some other avenues that I just have to say, hey, it is what it is.
Wow.
I'll throw a word out there. Qualified immunity is pretty much the same concept. Qualified immunity. Some people believe this because that they're driving
I disagree with qualified immunity.
Right.
I disagree with qualified immunity.
Can hear both of you.
Right. And that's why I'm putting it out there, is because we too often want it both ways, and you cannot have it that way. Not in this situation. Qualified immunity, say for instance, because these people are performing such a great service for the country, that they should not be held responsible for the things that they do under the color of their badge and things of that nature. So some truck drivers believe that because that they're providing this great service for America, that they have to do whatever it takes to get them loads wherever they got to get on time, regardless of the danger that could happen. You know, the moment you were driving 85 miles an hour, you were wrong. You knew that.
Now,
what was more important, the safety of other people or getting that load to where it had to be?
Let me ask this question, Leonard. Was he driving 85 miles an hour because he wanted to, or because his brakes went out and he had no control over the speed?
It just depends. He is a professional driver. I get truck drivers use the same excuse in all of their cases. It's about liability for one. It's about whether the liability is on the driver and what responsibility the company has and things of that nature. Now, if you have sleep apnea, for instance, that plays a role in your driving now, because they've looked and they've done study at the reckless behavior by drivers that have led to some of the most heinous car accidents that we have ever seen. So law just didn't happen overnight. So we have to take into consideration why Colorado has these laws.
Okay, but let me ask you this question one more time. Was he going 85 miles an hour because he wanted to, or was he going 85 because he was going downhill and he lost control of his brakes? His brakes went out. Was it a choice that he made?
Obviously, that argument.
Or how should that play into it?
Obviously, that argument didn't work because I think in the story it mentioned that another truck driver was responsible enough to slow down.
Okay.
Other truck drivers were responsible enough to pay attention. Now, when you're talking about it's to be proven in court whether or not, like Miss Goddess said, did you do that check on the truck first? Were your brakes operational then? Or were your brakes not operational because of the rate of speed that you were going, and those brakes could not slow down that load that you were carrying? That's different.
That's totally different.
That's negligence.
I want to jump in here real quick. I just posted a video of one of the main things that was used against him. And it's a video that someone took while following that truck because it looked suspicious. And there's one part where he's actually kind of going up a hill and going around a curve. And as he's in that curve, it's a big bright yellow sign up before it with flashing yellow lights talking about the truck ramp. And he's swerving over to the left in the opposite direction and runs a vehicle off the road.
I mean, again, man, it's so many different layers on this thing, man, and you get 5 people together. I guarantee you, 5 of them are going to disagree in some kind of way dealing with this particular topic.
So,
go ahead, Badge.
So to me, yes, you could have 5 or 6 different people sharing their experience, their point of view. What I'm looking at the present moment is what's in the actual video showing how he was driving. And the first thing that came to me, which would be an assumption, was he drinking?
Exactly. I was drunk, but my brakes went out. But you was drunk.
But the court proved that he wasn't drunk or intoxicated. So why did he swerve left instead of swerving right, where there's a big, huge open area for him to slow down in?
To me, hold on for a second. To me, that's a Monday morning quarterback response right there, because when you're in the heat of the moment or something like that, you can't tell a person, or sometimes a person don't think clearly when they're actually in that. And I'm not trying to make any excuse. I don't know the guy.
Yeah, no.
I don't want to make any excuses, but I do want to look at both sides of the coin and deal with it from both angles. Curtis, you wanted to say something? Tucson, coming to you next, brother.
Yeah, first and foremost, when we talk about sentencing guidelines, right? We can't escape from the fact that mandatory guidelines are not handed out to everybody the same, because I personally know of truckers who have killed people. I was a trainer at CR England when a whole family of 8 were killed on the 5. Yeah, the 5. On the 5.
Yeah.
By a CR England trucker. He walked. So when we talk about that, I get it. That's the law. I get that. But that law, a lot of times, is not applied to everybody the same. So I'm not going to say and act like, oh, it was justly applied, because that was not, it may have not been applied the same. That's number one. Number two, if he panicked, if you look at those truckers' ramps, it is a very simple law of physics that says what goes up must come down. If you look at the ramp, most of those ramps, we're talking as if that ramp is barren and straight. It's not. The off ramp for a runaway truck, it goes up. It's supposed to stop. But if that truck does not stop and it goes up further enough, like Rico said, that weight is going to cause for that truck to either fall off the side of the ramp or come back down the ramp. So he could have panicked and was thinking, no, I'm going to try and get around. The other question is, when did his brakes go out? Because he could have just had a runaway truck. And to be honest, if his brake system had, I want to say it's 1/8 of an inch of pad when he checked, that is deemed safe to drive down the road. I can't remember what the inches is, but that is deemed safe. Now he can burn a lot of that pad if that company put him on a load, and let's say that the requirements say 80,000 pounds. 80,000 pounds must be evenly distributed from the front of that trailer to the back of that trailer. It's let me make sure I say it right, Riley. 36 and 36 is what, 72?
Yes.
So 8,000 on the front wheels of the tractor. 8,000, you offered 8,000 pounds on the tractor. The two tandem wheels on the trailer is 36 and 36. If he was loaded improperly, and I have seen this happen, it has happened to me. I almost died in Parsons, West Virginia. I'll never forget it. If he is unevenly loaded, if they did not load that trailer right, and let's say they put a heavy pallet in the wrong spot, he can lose control of that truck.
Yeah.
The sister who is getting her license right now, if I can give you any jewel, I tell you this. In the industry of trucking, as a driver, always be pulling your load. That's the bottom line. Always be pulling your load. Because if you're not pulling your load will either push or pull you. And like Rico said, when that weight shifts and it start to go where it want to go, it ain't nothing you can do about it. Now, in the industry, there's a thing called the SAMS method. The SAMS method says you look for an exit off to your right if it is available. So we don't know, honestly, what he saw in those two outside mirrors. We don't have a clue.
Yeah.
We don't have a clue what he saw in vivo right there that said, look, I got to go around this car. This truck is not stopping. I got to try and go around, keep going around, and keep wiggling through and hope that at some point it slows down. The other thing is, I'll end with this, Raheem, 85 miles per hour. I don't know what company he was driving for, but most companies do not like to pay the gas. So most companies have a governor on their trucks, and the trucks do not go beyond 67 miles per hour. The reason why that is, Raheem, is if your truck is governed at 67 miles per hour, then there's no reason why your logbook should always be off, because your truck is only governed at no more than 67 miles per hour.
That's good.
So
that's good.
His brakes could have went out to further prove your point or your ideology. His brakes could have gone out. The weight of that truck may have shifted him forward. And that's why upon accident, he was traveling at 85 miles per hour.
Let me ask this.
Could be it.
Let me ask you this question, and I want to move on. We got just a few minutes. I want to touch some more people before we get out of here. If that be the case, Curtis, should he have been held liable? Quick answer.
No, if that is the case, it is an accident. And the families, a lot of the families didn't even agree with him getting 117 years.
Hold right there, Curtis. Let me pull some more people in. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh, I turned my mute. I burned my mute button on. happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. Yes, sir.
Hadn't made it yet. Don't get excited. Don't get ahead of yourself, because you can't get ahead of God.
Come on.
You ain't made it. This is the only time you got. I've enjoyed this conversation. It made me think, rethink, reevaluate, appreciate life. Because, man, I'm telling you, it ain't nothing like that experience. And I'm gonna say this. Hey, somebody's trailer is passing me. Oh, that's my trailer.
Wow. You done lost your load. You done lost your load, brother.
So man, look, I just wanted to kind of get back and every life situation is important. The unfairness of it is they've tried and prosecuted this fella, but January 6th ain't nobody. We still dealing with that. and the head honcho's running for election again.
Ain't that something? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anyway,
Rico,
Happy New Year to you all. Y'all
Happy New
have
Year, brother. Yes, sir. Hold on, Tucson. We're gonna come to you to pray us out today, brother. If you don't mind, hold fast with us. Rico, what's on your heart? Huh?
I'm just curious if anyone looked at the video I posted.
I didn't get a chance to look at it yet, brother. I look at it, at the end of the broadcast. Rico, what's on your heart?
Well, you seen the text message I said the same thing.
Yeah.
The victim's family didn't even agree.
Mm-hmm.
We saying, what about the victims? What about the victims? What about their families? They have spoken. They said they didn't agree. They understand that human beings commit errors sometimes. They understand sometimes we operate machinery that can kill us, and we can't do nothing about it. Animals, certain things. A zookeeper got caught up, got hit on, got put into a tiger environment yesterday or day before yesterday. He couldn't do nothing with it. They had to kill him. They had to kill the tiger. Poor tiger. Poor tiger. He shouldn't have put his hand in that cage and petted the kitty. But the thing is sometimes people make mistakes. Sometimes people have accidents. People go to war and kill innocent civilians, and they come home and they live their life. They ain't going to prison. But this man had an accident. We got to go and look at all these videos that go against the judge, that go against the victim's family, to go against what everybody else has seen, to go against this driver admitting, look, man, my brakes went out. I lost control. I couldn't help it. I did not intentionally try to do this. There's a difference between accidental and intentional. You out there running from the police and you just trying to run people off the road or driving reckless intentionally, don't care or give a hoot about who's on the road, yeah, you're going to get them 110 years. You driving and you lose your brakes go out and all of a sudden your load is starting to make you go a little faster. Instead of you doing 65, you're going up to 70 little by little because you might have had a little slight incline. You might have been coasting before you tried to hit your brakes. I guarantee you he had to hit his brakes to know that they were gone. How else would he know his brakes was left? Some reason he tried to stop. Maybe he tried to stop way before he got the way he got. But after everything was said and done, even the victim's family said, we do not agree. So it's sort of hilarious and confusing to see that sometimes we'll still try to stick to what, you know what I'm saying, the system and the guidelines. This thing has to be reformed. Every situation is unique. You just can't make a one-size-fit-all law, a one-size-fit-all government. And sometimes it is one-size-fit-all, but the people in control still use it the way they want to use it because they have the authority and the power. That is what has to be checked. But at the same time, we have to have some leniency and understanding that, man, human beings are not perfect.
Exactly. 10 o'clock, y'all. Time for us to get out of here, man. This has been a great conversation. I want to say Happy New Year. If I don't get a chance to talk to you before, because we're not here on Saturday, so I want to say Happy New Year to each and every one of you. Hope y'all have a fantastic year. I hope that everything that's in your heart that is good, that is of God, that you receive it throughout this year. I hope you all receive everything that your heart desires, long as it lines up with God. God bless each and every one of you. I love each and every one of you, man. And ain't nothing y'all can do about it. We family. We's family, y'all. We's family. Cassandra, what's on your heart? And I said we's family now. I said we's family. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Cassandra, you there? Cassandra, wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. Monique, anything before we get out of here?
I just want to say Happy New Year, and I enjoy, each time I popped in, I really learned a lot, and you all have a good year.
Good deal. Likewise. Leonard?
Always do your best. No one should accept any less than the very best that you can do.
Absolutely. Kurt,
Man, I love you guys, man. Happy New Year. You know, let 2022 be the start of some great things. Leonard, when you get a chance, give me a call, man. I got a job for you. I want to make sure that you get paid, but I got a serious job for you, brother. Please give me a call.
Yes,
We got some new things going on, some new initiatives that was issued out. So,
sure
when you
will.
get a chance, give me a call, brother. I
Yes,
love
sir.
y'all, man. God bless y'all. God keep y'all.
Yes,
And
likewise.
let's let this year be a different kind of year.
Yes, sir. Goddess. Goddess. She's looking for that mute button. She's looking for that mute button. Cause while she find that, Cassandra, are you with us, Cassandra?
Yes, I am.
Anything on your heart before we get out of here? Our last comment before 2022. What's on your heart?
Yeah. Yeah, my prayer is that we would just all find our purpose, and if we're already walking in it, continue to do that. And if you haven't found your purpose, that you will discover it, so that we can fulfill the things that we are placed on this earth to do. So happy New Year to everyone. May God bless you, give you the things that you need, and remove the things that you don't.
Exactly. Rico, last comment for 2022, brother. What's on your heart?
Go back and enjoy the basic things. Step outside and breathe some fresh air, listen to the birds, and appreciate just even being able to walk, because some people are not even able to do that. Appreciate. Just go back and appreciate. Look around, look at reality for what it is, and appreciate what some of the things we have, because we take them for granted.
That's good. That's good. Badger, last comment for 2021.
Be thankful for all the things that you have. Be open enough to learn something new to help you through each moment you're given.
Good deal. Leonard?
I already told you.
Okay. Toussaint?
Change your mindset. There are some people that you might feel that is unimportant or unimportant, however you want to say it, that are beneficial in your life.
Now, Toussaint, now, I say your last comment for 2021, and you're going to make up a word. What the word you just made up, man?
Be creative. Be creative.
Just make up a word.
Be creative.
There you go. There you go. Rico, what's going on today at 3 o'clock, sir?
If you missed today's broadcast and would like to see it in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Yes, sir. Toussaint, can I get you to pray us out, sir?
All right. Our God, we come now, and I come to you in the name of Jesus as we reflect on past days and preferably future days, that we would go back to what your desire is acknowledge you in all of our ways, so that you will direct our path. Seek you while you may be found, and call upon you while you're near. You said that we should seek ye first your kingdom and its righteousness, and all of these things would be added. So help us seek you, so that the plan that you have for our lives would be fulfilled. Bless us now in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Well, this concludes the Morning Glow for 2021. Next time we do it, which will be Monday morning, will be 2022. Goodbye, 2021. Hello, 2022. You are more than welcome, 2022, because 2021 was an experience. It was absolutely an experience. And so we welcome 2022 and all that it has to offer. Hopefully, it's some blessings in there. But it is now 10:06. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and associates to be a part of your day. It is now 10:06. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light of you for the morning glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Talk to you soon, and please take care of each other. Be blessed.